1:17. Ladies and gentlemen, diving into the aerobatic box, Brittnee Lincoln in the extra 330 SC. Straight up into the vertical. Hang on, here we go. She enters the inverted flat spin. This is a maneuver that at one time was considered unrecoverable. Once you were in, there was no way out. But today's advanced aerobatic aircraft, it's a very simple task. This is a purpose-built airplane, and it does that job very well. The extra 330 SC has taken the aerobatics world by storm. It is the preferred aircraft of most aerobatic performers in the advanced category. And Brittnee Lincoln handles it like a master. She comes up over the top. She's going to push that aircraft forward. Now she's going to run it up. Listen to that SC wind up. Snapping on the down line. Here we go. This machine is a pumped Lycoming AIO 580 engine producing 350 horsepower. Up to the top, spinning it around like a pancake, straight back down. That was an incredible hammerhead turnaround. Once again, she's going to constantly be pulling heavy G's throughout her routine. Watch, she goes tail over prop, ripping, flipping, and tumbling through the Oklahoma sky. Precision aerobatics is what it's all about for Brittnee Lincoln. So you'll notice our aerobatic performers climb up into the vertical. Then they'll do some repositioning maneuver, a hammerhead. She flips over on her back this time. Now she's going to trade that altitude for airspeed back to show center. Back into the vertical. Point rolls on the upline. Turns off her smoke. She's just going to hang it out there. Stalling in the sky, right back down beyond 90 degrees. She came here to tear up the Oklahoma sky. She's going to do just that with a 4-point hesitation roll. Multi-roll on the down line. Who wants to go for a ride with Brittnee Lincoln? Do not have a big breakfast prior to that. There's a hard pull. That's at least 7 G's into the upline. Up, stalling out over the top. She's inverted. Now looking at nothing but Oklahoma terra firma and snapping on the down line one more time. right, folks, you heard her. She's going to do a triple avalanche loop. That's the traditional barnstormer's loop. Watch, she brings it down to show center. She's going to pull up over the top, and she's going to spin that aircraft over 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to call that 3.5 for the triple avalanche loop. What do you think, Oklahoma City? Ladies and gentlemen, she's right back at it. No quit in Brittnee Lincoln. As she goes back into the vertical, you'll see that our aerobatic performers performing kind of a half-pipe maneuver. That's where they go up, they're going to stall out, do the hammerhead, come back down, build up that airspeed, which gives them the energy for their next maneuver. Hesitation point rolls on the down line. When Britt's not flying aerobatics, she enjoys working on airplanes, flying in the backcountry of Montana, and scuba diving. Ladies and gentlemen, get those cameras ready. Brittnee Lincoln is going to reposition that extra 330 SC, bring it down the show line for a photo pass. To right, ladies and gentlemen, Brittnee Lincoln. But once again, Britt would like to give a big thank you to Champion Aerospace. Champion Aerospace puts the spark in Britt's extra 330 SC with their slick magnetos and spark plugs. Britt uses only the best in her aircraft. Champion is the industry's gold standard for reciprocating engines and piston ignition. And if you are interested in aerobatics and want to be part of an amazing community, please consider joining the International Aerobatic Club and go to www.iac.org to connect with pilots and enthusiasts. Once again, that's iac.org. As Britt brings it back down the show line one last time. right, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, I want you to be your absolute loudest. Brittnee Lincoln's going to bring her extra 330 SC right here, right next to Show Center, the command center for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, which is affectionately known as Judy. That's the comm cart right there. You see the extra coming in right now. She's going to pop that canopy, and I want you guys to blow the roof off of Oklahoma. Spectacular aerobatic performance by Brittnee Lincoln. All right, Oklahoma City, make some noise for Brittnee Lincoln! Fantastic performance by Brittnee Lincoln, and now a takeoff roll. The T-28 Trojans of the Trojan Phlyers. The Trojan Phlyers are proud to be performing for you here today at the Tinker Airshow. The home field of the Trojans is Midway Airport, located in Midlothian, Texas, just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The pilots performing for you today are Chip Lamb in the lead aircraft and his wingman, Robert Johnson. Chip and Robert will be demonstrating the excellent performance and maneuverability of the North American T-28 Trojan. Chip Lamb, the lead demo, is a retired Air Force Reserve Colonel, an Air Force Academy graduate, and was assigned to Europe flying the F-4 Phantom II. After 8 years of flying fighters overseas, he left the active duty Air Force in 1985 to fly F-16s with the 149th Fighter Wing in the Texas Air National Guard. He flew combat missions in the F-16 over Iraq during Operation Southern Watch. Robert Johnson, the wingman, grew up wanting to fly, which led him to his pilot certificate at a young age. When not flying Airshow, Robert's most rewarding flights are flying wounded veterans for Veterans Airlift Command and doing disaster relief flying for Operation Airdrop, including a recent deployment to North Carolina to support victims of Hurricane Helene. The Trojan Phlyers wish to thank Trig Avionics for sponsoring the team. We fly with Trig transponders and radios that offer the best mix of quality features and value. These certified avionics are truly better by design and ideal for light general aircraft. The Trojan Phlyers are also proud to support Operation Airdrop. Operation Airdrop is a disaster relief charity that uses volunteer aircraft and pilots to support communities in need these days immediately following a natural disaster. A hush fell over the crowd as they waited for the Trojan Phlyers. Ladies and gentlemen, over your right shoulder, Chip Lamb and Robert Johnson and the Trojan Phlyers. Their first maneuver will be a formation crossing Lazy 8 as they come across the airfield in the section formation.